families, over the next few Sundays, PAC Kids Online will be learning about the Israelites returning from exile and rebuilding the temple. Now, at this time, I don't know about you, but it almost might feel like we are in some weird time of exile as well. We're separated from what we know that's familiar. We're cut off from our neighbors. We're entering into new territory that we're not used to, and this all feels very foreign. And the people of God had to trust God. Now, he told them in advance that he knew the plans that he had for them, plans to prosper them, not to harm them, to give them a hope in the future. And you have probably heard that verse so many times. In fact, that verse is going to be the memory verse for the next 3 weeks. And we love to give that verse to other people, and we love to give that verse to ourselves when we're feeling like things are vague or unclear. But to remember that God gave that promise before the exile and before a very difficult time, that was the promise they had to hold on to right before going through a difficult season, that's not the part we like to think about. And so right now, it might feel like it's difficult to trust God and to trust the plans that he has for us. Now, for me, as a parent, one of the most triggering Christian words is the word trust. It's something that after I gave birth to my first son, everyone kept saying to me, oh, you just need to trust God with your children. Now for me, right after I gave birth, my mind would immediately start to think of the worst case scenarios and all the possible negative things that could happen. And I had so much worry and so much fear, and people just kept saying, well, but you just got to trust, and God knows the plans he has for your kids. And yes, I knew that, but I didn't feel it. It was so difficult for me to feel like I could trust someone I couldn't see with my kids as much as I loved God, and I trusted him with my own life. I told God that I would go to the ends of the earth for him. I told God that I was willing to die for him. I told God I was going to go into ministry for him. But my kids? Now, God, that's a huge ask. Do you really expect me to trust you with my kids? And something that I had to discover for myself is that trust is more than just a feeling. Now, right now, it might not feel good to trust God. It might not feel like something you want to do or something that feels natural right now. But we can make the active choice to choose, to decide, to say to ourselves, I am going to trust God, and he does have plans for me that are good. And it might not feel that way right now. Things might feel very scary and different and foreign, but I'm going to trust him. And so my challenge for you, families, over the next couple weeks is to think of ways of remembering that you are choosing to trust God. One way that I do this is that in the morning, I will say out loud declarations. If we believe that God hears our prayers, if we believe that when we pray, it shifts something, that means that our words, our voice, it has authority. So in the morning, I'll say things like, I am a woman of peace, I am a woman of courage, I am a woman of truth, and I will say Bible verses that are so meaningful between me and God. I want to challenge you as families for the next couple weeks, maybe each day or maybe every couple days, create a new statement that you'll add on, that you'll say out loud in the morning. You don't have to gather all around the breakfast table and say it in a chant together. If that works for you, great. And if not, you can just work on the declarations together and say them on your own as you're getting dressed, or as you're driving to work, or the kids are getting ready for school, or as you're turning on the computer to do your work, or your kids are doing their homework. But just write out different statements. Maybe say, our family, and then you could say your family's name, the family members, or your last name. We choose to trust God with this. Our family will choose God in this area. Our family is going to put God first. And you can even start making the memory verse part of your declarations. We know that God has a plan for us, and it will not harm us, and it will prosper us and give us the hope in the future. Our family chooses to trust God throughout this pandemic. Our family chooses to trust God in this time that we can't see grandma and grandpa or aunt and uncle. Our family is going to trust God with our finances and all these different things, to make the active choice even when you don't feel like it. So that's my challenge for you in this next season. And to win your family prize, what you can do is by November 8th, if you email us a snapshot of your declarations, you can win a prize for your family. Now, our last challenge was about 3 weeks ago, and we asked you to fill up a jar with little strips of paper or to fold them into stars, and each of those strips of paper to have a different thing that you're thankful for on it as a prayer. Now, if you have that jar, please take a picture of it and email it to kids@princetonalliance.org, and you can send it over by this Sunday, October 11th, to still win your prize. We already started receiving some of them, and they look so amazing, and we would love to see more and get those prizes for you. So families, we're excited for this next challenge for you. If you have any questions, feel free to email us and let us know, and we just challenge you to keep trusting God in this time.